Hey everybody, it's Jojo Kwan Plans and I'm here with another plan with me and my recollections from the 28th of June to the 4th of July using this summer kit from oliveplannerco. This is one of the very first few kit that oliveplannerco had, and it is the watercolor season theme and it's super duper pretty. And for this spread, I've decided to pull in silver foil, which is all the collections that I have. And also the stickers that I'll be using are inside my reusable Jading Paper Co sticker book already. And the pen that I'll be using is my Pilot Juice Up pen in 0.4 black ink. So let's move on to the base of the spread and I'll see you in a little bit. Welcome back everybody, and can you actually believe that we are in mid-2021 already? By the time this video is up, it would be mid of July, and that is time passed super fast. And this spread is only on the first week of July, and that is how much I have delayed my spreads, which is by 2 weeks. And I'm pretty sure I'll be able to catch it up before school starts in August. So the month of educational welfare donation is here, and the collaboration that we will be doing together would be the end of July. So this week I will be sharing with you about the education system here in Singapore, and currently now that I am proceeding to a new school, which is university, and it is not compulsory, I would love to share with you how much I've gone through here in Singapore. And Singapore being one of the strongest education system in the world, it is probably one of the good things to learn and also to be careful of, because overstudying can give you lots of stress, and I think that I went through pretty well as I was growing up here. So for today's spread, you can find all the text of the stickers that I've used on Instagram when the post is up, because I'll be doing my sharing as I've mentioned earlier, and I may not be able to go through as much as I usually do for the stickers that I use. So just a little update, I am currently PRing for a few shops like Jading Paper Co, Mum Plan B, Sakura Mochi Design Co, Olive Planner Co. What else do I PR for? I have a few other shops up on my Instagram bio, but I cannot remember really well because I really love character stickers, and I just wish that all the stickers just appear in my planner. But if you are looking for a shop with really pretty icons, Mum Plan B is the one for you, and all the other character stickers that I usually use are also tagged in the spread up in the post. So moving on to the education system here in Singapore, we follow the UK style. So we do have primary, secondary, and polytechnic, junior college, and also university. So the unlike in US where it is high school and then no, what is that school called? I'm not very sure on how the system works in the US, but I'm pretty sure there's elementary and then like preschool, high school, college, as well as university, and it is almost similar here in Singapore. But in Singapore, we have 6 years of primary levels, which is compulsory, as well as secondary school levels that is either 4 or 5 years depending on the streams that you are being placed in. So for myself, I actually went through the normal academic stream in the last 4 years of compulsory education, and we do have the express stream of also 4 years. But the usual normal academic would be 5 years, but recently in Singapore, we started a system that you can leave school at the 4th year if you are doing well enough to proceed on to either college or one of the other schools here in Singapore. So for myself, I did really well in the 10th year, which is the 4th year of my secondary school, and I managed to get into a college, otherwise known as Polytechnic here in Singapore, and I started studying landscape architecture when I was 17 years old. So 17 years old seems pretty ready to get a driver's license, but not in Singapore. You have to be at least 18 to get a driver's license here in Singapore, but currently I do not have one because commuting in Singapore is really, really easy and efficient, and I do not see a necessity to get it. So recently I was just watching the Coffee Monsters Helen's plan with me. She was preparing for driver's license, and now that I'm thinking of it, should I get one? But I do have a few friends that have gotten their license, and the reason why you would drive here in Singapore is either you have a family car or you are getting ready to go overseas, which is none of the options that I have. So I'm keeping that on hold for a time later. But yeah, traveling in Singapore is good. And moving back to what I am studying, I did really, really well in college, and currently I did graduate with a merit and as a valedictorian of my course, and now moving on to university. So in Singapore, university is not compulsory, but I decided to go further because it is a course that needed much more certificates and then qualifications to actually work. So unlike human resource and business management, you are able to venture out after college, but for landscape architecture, I would really love to learn more. That's why I decided to go for university. But because of COVID, currently I'm not able to travel to the school of my dreams, which is in Australia, either in University of Melbourne or Western Australia. So I was offered a placing here in National University of Singapore, which is also a really prestigious university here. And I'm happy that I managed to get a placing and recently finished the orientation for the course. And it is pretty tough to go through all of this without the right support and right support as well as guidance from the lecturers and teachers. And I'm pretty sure that some of you are also taking your bachelor degree or masters, and it is not easy at all. And I am not somebody that can handle stress and probably failures really well, and I'm really scared of what would happen because as I proceed to university, things would get really different because everybody loved landscaping there, and they would probably do as well as I did back in college. So the tensions are really, really high, and yeah, there is a certain level of competition definitely, but I'm just hoping that I'll be able to do well and go out and start working and do what I love. And that is how Singapore works because we do base off our credits on merits, and whatever we work for, whatever we get is how we worked for. And I think that's pretty fair to a certain extent because some people do value their work much more than just passing time. And it all stems from how education was as important when we were young. So in Singapore, definitely one of the better countries to be studying, because we are forced to actually do really well, or at least given a choice to do well, and with the right system and educational guidance track, together with all the teachers that have gone through a necessary level of education. um, we are brought up really well by making sure that we do have to study for at least 10 years before we actually go into society and have the basic um, etiquette of working. So that's how we will continue to move on as a country, a very small country. And just by the way, we could actually get by the whole Singapore within a good 2 to 3 hours. And um, there are people that actually track from the left to the right, and that's how small Singapore is. And we are a developing country that have gone through a lot for the past 50 over years. And um I'm really proud to be a Singaporean, and I am also really thankful to actually be able to study in such a well developed education system. So as someone that have gone through something so good, I would love to extend my help to those that are unable to do so. And as I was growing up, we do have exposure to a lot of countries in the third world countries that are facing difficulties. And that is why sometimes it pricks my little conscience of um how much we have. And I really love to share with you things that I've learned in school about how education systems are different all over the world. And next week, it would be of a country that I often like to visit, and it is Thailand, because that country is really the city of angels, and they are very, very, very pretty. And I remember going to a school when I was in to one of the schools there when I was in secondary school, and education system there was really different from Singapore. But um at that time, we were extending our help to those really cute kids that were short of education. And I would love to share with you what we did and what my department did, and also how there are other ways that we can help. So that's all for this week. Thank you all for being here with me and stay with me through my sharing. I hope you enjoyed this spread as much as the little information of education here in Singapore, and that I will see you again next week and on the last week of July. Meanwhile, stay safe and be happy.